Okay, let's open the next file. File, open, and we'll choose Other Charts. Now, as you can tell from the name, these charts are less used than most of the other charts. The first chart type is called a radar chart. These are really great if you work in human resources and you're trying to do employee reviews. Basically, you have a person or a company or an entity, and you rate them on a 1 to 5 scale along several variables. Let's choose the data from A1 to B6. We'll choose Insert, Other Charts, and we have 3 choices on the radar chart, whether we want them just drawn as lines or filled in. Let's choose Filled In. Basically here you can see that this company does very well on speed, not so well on accuracy or value. I'll make the chart a little bit smaller and remove the legend using Legend None. We'll move this chart to the top and create a second chart for our first competitor. Insert ribbon, Other Charts, Radar chart. Now here you can see that this competitor is doing great in accuracy and speed. Because they weren't ranked 5 on any of the measures, the scale is off by a little bit. If it's possible, you can try and click one of the numbers along the axis, right-click, and choose Format Axis. You can now say that the maximum value, instead of being automatic, should be fixed at 5. While this should work, to be safe, you'll also want to set the minimum to be fixed at 0. Sometimes, if you don't set the minimum, Microsoft will choose a crazy minimum like -1. Click Close. We're going to remove the legend and make the chart as small as the original chart. This is frustrating to me. It's always tough to try and create the exact same size. I end up taking the chart, lining it up with the left side of the original chart, and resizing out, and then moving the chart to line up with the top of the original chart and resizing the height. Well, now we have a great view of our company and the competitor. Well, let's go on to the next worksheet, and we'll take a look at Excel stock charts. If you enjoy watching the stock charts in the paper, Excel has a few different types of stock charts. Let's choose our data set. Now remember, we want to make cell A1 be blank because we have dates along the left-hand side. Choose cell A1 and hit the delete key to delete that cell. I'll hold down the shift key while I hit down and then end down and choose the other columns. Our data here has columns for high, low, and close, and that's really important. Let's go to the Insert tab, open Other Charts, and take a look at the 4 stock charts that are available to us. The first chart is called High, Low, Close. That's the one we're going to use now. The next chart is Open, High, Low, Close, Volume, High, Low, Close, and then finally Volume, Open, High, Low, Close. Now Excel is very particular that you have to have your data in the exact order as the name of the chart. I have dates in column A and then High, Low, Close in B, C, D, so I'll choose the High, Low, Close chart. And Excel draws a great chart for me that's similar to the chart in the paper. Now it'd be great if we can zoom in so we can actually see the relevant range of the chart. If I right-click the numbers along the left-hand side, choose Format Axis, and again I'm going to change the minimum and maximum from automatic to fixed. It looks like a range from 300 to 500 would be great for this particular security. Click Close. And there you go. We start to see the detail behind the stock chart. Let's go on to the next worksheet. This is the one with all the columns, volume, open, high, low, close. Now in this particular type of chart, we're going to get what's called a candlestick chart. When you look in the newspaper, there's basically 2 kinds of charts, the high, low, close, which is what we just created, and then the candlestick. Hit Control Home to go to cell A1 to delete the heading. I'll hold down the End key, down arrow, end down, end right, and go to the Insert ribbon. Open Other Charts, and go to Volume, Open, High, Low, Close. Microsoft creates a chart with 2 axes now. The axis on the right-hand side is the price of the security. The axis on the left-hand side is the volume. Now, there's always one tweak that I make to this chart. If you look in the newspaper, the volume piece of the chart is always taking up the bottom third of the chart and not the whole chart. And also, we really don't necessarily care about the volume numbers. We just care about those spikes. We want to see the spiky days. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click the numbers along the left side of the chart and choose Format Axis. I'll change maximum to be fixed. And you see that we currently have scientific notation here, 4.5 e to the 7th. Again, that brings back nightmares from math class. The point is I want to take that 4.5 and multiply it by 3, taking it up to 13.5. I'm sure the math majors watching this are saying, well, 13.5 e to the 7th isn't valid, but luckily Microsoft is happy to accept it. We'll click Close. And now the volume piece has been shrunk down to just a tiny little bit at the bottom of the chart. I can still see those spiky days, which is the real relevant information here. We actually don't need those numbers along the left-hand axis. Let's right-click there, choose Format Axis. For the axis labels, we need none. Click Close. There you go. Chart that looks just like it came out of the newspaper. Okay, we'll close this file. And let's open the next file. This is called OnSheet. These are charts that you create without using charts at all. It's the greatest thing. It's called a repeat function, R-E-P-T. The repeat function will repeat a character or a word a certain number of times. Now, the first time I created this, I had 1,337 characters going across. I couldn't see a thing, so we have to scale these. It seems like dividing the number by 10 seems to work out really well. So the repeat function, I asked for a repeat of the vertical bar. That's right above the Enter key on your keyboard. You have to hold down the Shift and enter the vertical bar. Based on the number in B4 and divided by 10. So what I'm going to get is 133 bars for the first value, and then 37 for the next, 34 for the next, and on down. If you go to the next sheet, you'll see an even cooler version of this where we compare male and female. Now, in order to do this, it was basically just a matter of right aligning the formula in column E and left aligning the formula in column G. Of course, I changed the order of the concatenation to put the number at the end for female or at the beginning for male. A couple of great charts that you can create without creating charts at all. Let's close this file.